Cissé. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social. This is the Villa at home match preview after what was a very bitterly disappointing weekend, crashing out of the FA Cup on penalties, which hopefully we will get you the episode live. Hopefully, we're just waiting for the footage to be sent to us and we can get that uploaded hopefully before this goes out, but we'll see. We're just waiting on people to send it over basically. But Jack, how are you, mate? How's things?
Yeah, doing good. I've had a lot of computer problems this evening, which have driven me to anger and rage. And have I kicked my laptop? Once. So, yeah,
well, listen,
I'm not very happy.
Listen, you're here. That's the main thing. You made it, all right? You made it. Unlike someone else who shall not be named. But no, they are. Ben is busy at work tonight, so we'll let him off.
Dealing with the Baller League.
Yes, yeah, he's covering the prestigious Baller League, which is taking
Someone's
over
got
all
to,
of
haven't they? Someone's got to.
That is correct, Jack. Someone has got to do it, and that is Ben. So, yeah, Jack, just quickly, because if this does go out and we haven't done the thing, let's just quickly just talk about the FA Cup exit really quickly, really briefly. Disappointing, but I think, as we said, it was one of those games where I feel like I'll just quickly give my point of view and then you can give yours. It felt like for me, two teams that didn't want to lose for the first 90 minutes, maybe to the first 105 minutes. And then in that last 15-minute period, I thought we were actually the better side. I thought we actually looked at the more likely to score. Obviously, we had that one chalked off, Estepinian being offside. We did look like the team that was going to score in that second half of extra time. But it wasn't to be. And yeah, it was one of those sort of leggy performances, I think, with a lot of players on international duty, which didn't help us at all. And then, it did go to penalties. And sadly, one of our own, Jack Hinshelwood, missed. And Gomez as well, who powered it. The keeper made a good save. So, it was one of those sort of disappointing results. But, Forest are a good side. It's nothing to be ashamed about. It's nothing to be, overly upset about. I think it's one of those games where you go to 120 minutes and you lose on penalties. It's one of those things you can't really... I mean, you can control it because you could win it in 90 or 120. But it just wasn't to be on the day, and that's my view on it. And what about you, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, it's just disappointing, wasn't it? All round, I think we discussed it when we were in the terrace, and in that we essentially, someone had to win the game, and I just felt like it was a poor game all round. I think I touched on it on Twitter that, I'm not using the excuse of the international break, but it did seem that both teams were quite affected by the international break, and both teams seemed quite leggy, and it definitely wasn't a quality game that I thought it could have been. It's two decent sides, and I thought none of us really got going until very short spells of the game. So disappointing all round, but you know what? We've got to move on. We've still got lots to play for this season. A huge amount still to play for. So, big game already. So,
talking of that, brings us on really nicely to Villa. Let's talk about this Villa game. Like you say, it's a big one, especially in that European chase. I feel like now the league title's pretty much done, right? Liverpool pretty much wrapped that up. Unless they have a monumental, capitulation. Yeah. And then at the bottom, again, unless there's like a miracle escape, it looks like Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton will be getting relegated. So I feel like now the European race is probably the talking point for the league, isn't it? You got Chelsea with 49, Man City with 48, Newcastle 47, Brighton 47, Fulham 45, Villa 45, Bournemouth 44, and even Brentford at 41 is not out. I mean, they are 8 points behind fourth. But to get a Europa League place, for example, they're still within the realm. So a lot of teams competing, Jack, and Villa being one of them. Now, they did play Preston, and they did get a pretty straightforward result in the end. A nice, easy win for them. And they were able to take players off quite early in the game. So they are going to come in it probably a bit fresher. But they are in all competitions. They're still in the FA Cup semi-finals. They're still in the Champions League. They're still fighting for Europe. So they got a lot of games coming up, and they're in a lot of competitions, so they're fighting for a lot. So, how do you see Villa coming to the Amex, and what kind of proposition do you see them being?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a hard game, isn't it? This one. Yeah, it's not the easiest game. It's a team we're traditionally not very good against. I'm really selling it here. We did beat them last season, though, 1-0, which was good to get one over them for first time
6-0.
in a while. But
not so good.
yeah, not the 6-1, not so good. But it's getting tight now. Even some of the more established clubs are sort of slipping around, and it's turning out to be quite an interesting end to the season. There's a couple of teams in chase. One of them, annoyingly, is Crystal Palace, but it's a lot more teams coming up behind us. So it's getting tight. So these are all must-win games, especially when you're playing someone around you.
Yeah, no, 100%. And last time out, Jack, it did finish 2-2. Obviously, a great goal from Lamptey, saving us at Villa Park. Which, it was a very different Brighton side. Just quickly going through that lineup. We had, so I'll sort of do the sort of noticeable ones. Igor playing there. Lamptey, of course, has been suspended for the FA Cup game. Ayari was playing alongside Baleba, and Ciso attacking midfield. Garuda on the wing with Adingra. So a very different side to what we've sort of been used to in the past 6-7 games. How do you see us lining up? Obviously, we've had a 3-day turnaround. Do you anticipate the future? Obviously, injuries as well now. We've got Webster out, potentially. Rutter's left in a boot brace. We had a couple of injuries, sadly, as well with that FA Cup crash. So, how do you see us lining up for Wednesday? Sorry to be negative, but got a point.
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ. Absolutely full of the joys of spring after that. Is there anything that's going well after that? At least I've got my health, I suppose, or I'm not dead.
I clearly don't.
It's not looking good, is it? Jorginho out, Webster out. It might be a recall for Dunk, which would be interesting. I don't think he would probably admit himself he's had the best of seasons, but he did look quite good when he came on against.
He did
against Forest. He looked solid. So it's there's probably going to be a few changes. Mitoma didn't have the greatest game against Nottingham Forest. He looked very, very tired. And I don't think chucking him in again 3 days later is exactly going to help that situation. So be interesting to see what happens with that. No Jorginho who comes into the middle. Maybe it's Gruder's time to step up. Who knows? There's so many questions about this game. And I guess we won't really know until the press conference tomorrow, will we? So, it'll be a bit clearer. Villa, they seem to be heading into it with all players slowly coming back and back. So that's even more enjoyable, isn't it? And they've got a really deep, good squad now for all competitions. It's a little bit worrying, isn't it? Do you know what? I don't think I've said this for a while, but I'm proper that game kicked the stuffing out of us all, I think. And not to be our season's ruined now because of that one result, but it took everything out of us, and I just hope that the team can sort of pick themselves up from that and realise we've still got a lot to play for.
Well, the positives I take out of it, Jack, obviously, I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think it did really kick us when we were low, as in we lost. Not only did we lose, out of a competition we saw ourselves potentially winning, and considering the teams that were left in it. However, then you got the injuries topping on top of that. You've got a quick turnaround of 3 days. It just doesn't help with the momentum. But in saying that, what we did see when we lost the 7-0 to Forest, we saw us go on this amazing run, and Hurzeler was able to really, quite literally tear up the tactics and get us back to. So hopefully we can see that from he can pick the players up from Forest, saying, look, let's forget about the cup. Let's go into this. We've still got huge games, like you said. We've still got some massive games coming. We've got Villa up next. We've got Palace after that, and then we've got some really big fixtures after that as well. So, I feel like I've got that confidence because if Hurzeler can do what he did after post Forest the first time around, can he do it again this time around? Which hopefully he can. And talking of those players, you mentioned Gruder potentially coming up. I think I'll be really interested in seeing him at the 10. Potentially, because I feel like João Pedro is still he had his knee strapped as well when he came on, which didn't fill me with confidence. So I don't know if I'd want to risk him as well. Maybe Gruder for me would start in behind Welbeck potentially, and then do you know what? a lot of players were really, really praising Adingra when he came on, and they thought that he made a really good impact when he switched sides. He didn't have much luck against Olorino, which, I know he's had in the past.
I don't think anyone did.
No, Olorino was brilliant, to be fair to him. Yeah, to be fair to him, he was fantastic. Yeah. But when he went against Nico Williams, he looked much more effective and much more promising, especially when he started to actually take the ball and run at people, where at first he looked a bit short of confidence in that respect. But yeah, for me, Adingra and Gruder could be those two that come in potentially for Wednesday. And yeah, of course, like you said, Dunkey as well, if Webster's not fit, which could be 3 big changes. But you know what? They're all quality players on their day. So, I thought Gruder was fantastic when he came on against Forest. So yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how we line up in that game. And yeah, really how we bounce back, I suppose, from one of those disappointing results. But talking of Villa, Jack, who are you most worried? Because like you say, their squad is ridiculous. The amount of depth they've got in that squad. Who are you at least looking forward to watching against us?
Rashford's actually found form. I think that's a player who's worrying me at the moment. Marco Asensio, that's a fantastic quality player of his level. He's made 9 appearances so far for Aston Villa and he scored 7 goals. So you can't really, doubt that. Ollie Watkins always seems to have a number over us, with a hat-trick last year. And yeah, I think, Christ, I'm really bigging this game up. But yeah, we're just getting many, many different, sort of... They've got quality in that team, and they are where they are for a reason, and they've gone deep into the Champions League for another reason. So, yeah, it's just a case of us having to sort of dig deep and find what we can to come up against this quality side.
Mate, there's so many players that we're not even mentioned. You've got Morgan Rogers, you've got Ramsey, you've got Onana, you've got Martinez in goal, you've got Digne at left back. Like, they genuinely have got quality all over the pitch, which, look, they're doing well this season and a top quality manager as well in Unai Emery. So we are coming up against a very, very good Villa side, but we know we can get results. Sometimes we play better against these teams, don't we?
Yeah, and we do, and we have seemed to do very well in adversity this season. We've done, we've played through bad spells. We've sort of batten down the hatches, and look, we need to get. In all reality, we should be getting to get Europe or to get 8th place. We're looking at probably about 59, 60 points. If we can get 4 more wins from games, and why can't this be against Villa? We play well against quality sides. We know what we have to do to step up. We've shown that in the last few weeks. We've beaten teams around us, Fulham, Bournemouth, all teams in great form. We drew 0-0 with Forest in all reality. So that's also not a bad result, really, considering how well they've done this season. So, yeah, I think it's just, concentrate on the game at hand, make sure we win, and just carry it on forward because, yeah, we need to. We've got a lot to play for here.
Yeah. And with regards to Villa, they are, they're on a great run of form. I don't want to sort of keep harping on.
Another one.
They have won in all competitions their last 5, and the only loss in the lot since I've got to go back to February, 1st of February. They've only lost to Crystal Palace in a freak 4-1 result. So they are going to come into this full of confidence. Obviously Palace are flying as well now, sadly for us. So we are going into this sort of period now against some tough teams. But like you say, Jack, we usually speaking, we do step up in these occasions, and it's a great opportunity for the players that we mentioned, isn't it? The Gruders, the Adingras, to prove that they do have a place for next season. Because, for example, let's take Adingra for example. If he feels like he's not getting a chance, or if he doesn't get a run in the team, he might be looking to leave, and the manager might look at him and go, well, we do give you the opportunity. You're not giving us the quality that we look for. So, I think it's a big chance for these fringe players, so to speak, to really make an impact on Wednesday. And I think that's going to be really key for us because we need that squad rotation. We saw, those 2 injuries on Saturday, and I'm sure we're going to get a couple more by the end of the season. So we're going to need every player to step up, even the likes of Weaver, Gomez, these players that come off the bench usually, they might get a start sometime soon. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how everyone performs, really. But yeah, anything else, Jack, with regards to Villa?
Yeah, I know. Sorry, this has been a real joy for everyone, hasn't it?
I know, yeah. It is tough. Look,
moon.
we're coming up against I think it's the first time in a long time where we've actually gone into a preview actually acknowledging that it is going to be a really tough test because Villa are a top quality side. And I think recently we have come up against teams that we think we can beat, because we've gone into it with confidence. But after a back of a defeat and a few injuries, we now look at it in a very different way, don't we?
Yeah, massively. And yeah, I think going on that 6-game winning streak was really good for us, and it really restored our confidence. And when a team goes on a streak like that, it does have to end. We can't just carry on with that really, really good form. And well, of course we can, but in all reality, it's not going to continue forever. So it's not to be so much a downer. It's just maybe to go in with a little bit of a little bit of caution. I don't know. It's a hard one, and it's a team we traditionally don't do well against, and we're in such the thick of it at the moment. Like, we're realizing that this will be. I mean, we've only got 6 games left, 7 games left, something like that.
I think about that. Yeah,
and it is getting tight round there, so we've just got to concentrate on these games and get through them, really. And I'm no massive. I'm a fan of the international break because I like going to non-league football, but that's about it, really. And it's. You look at the schedule coming up with all the cup games, and this March international break, you've got a lot of these players. Someone like João Pedro will have played, or Purvis will have literally played since last Friday. He would have played Friday, Wednesday, Saturday, 120 minutes. Then he plays on Tuesday again against Villa. Then he's got Palace again at the weekend, and we move on to the next game and the next game. And they're coming thick and fast. And I think, this is where you're right in what you say. This is where you see the making of the squad. We've got so many options in midfield. We've got Mats Weefer, Matt O'Reilly who can come in. But I think in the defences, we're still looking a bit low on numbers for me. Especially in that fullback position. And I do worry whether that may be our Achilles heel in this running, in that we haven't quite got enough depth there. And the options that are available aren't fit, which is really disappointing. Veltman and Lamptey still not seeing much of them in the team sheets or anything. So
I think Lamptey should be back now, shouldn't he? Because I think he's suspended for Forest. So hopefully he should be back.
Hopefully he should be back, and then we can crack on. And I think Lamptey will be a big one in that run-in, and giving players like Hinchwood, allowing him to push into midfield, because we all know Hinchwood, as good as he is at right back, is a much better central midfielder than he is anywhere else. So it'd be great if those two can come back and help things out.
No, 100%. And then final thing, Jack, before we get on to predictions. Now, this is positive, so everyone watching will be pleased. We actually have got one of the best home records, also one of the best away records, actually. But we're the 7th best home record in the league, and Villa actually have got the 14th worst record in the league away from home. So that could be a big factor. They're not great away. They're pretty good at home, but yeah, they're not great away. So that could definitely play into our hands. I'm not saying that's going to be, just because they're not great away, that then it's impossible for them to win or to get a result. But yeah, that is a positive.
That's a positive. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. we got to look at the positives, eh? How
exactly.
negative we've been.
I know. I need some cheering up, for God's sake.
Yeah, sorry.
I need some massive cheering up.
There you go. Well, they got one of the worst away records, Jack. So there you go, mate.
Yeah. I feel like I'm slipping in and out of depression after that result of the weekend. So yeah, hopefully it gets better.
Very mixed emotions, wasn't it? On Saturday, bad emotions, but yeah. Hopefully we can pick up on Wednesday. But yeah, let's get into our predictions then, Jack. How do you see this game going? What's your score prediction?
Yeah, my prediction is I'm going to go very predictably. I'm going to go for a 1-1. I think it'll be a tight game. Yeah, I think it'll be 1-1. I think we'll both have chances. And then maybe one of us can nick it. And hopefully that team is us. We can use our subs well. I'd like to see Pedro start at Welbeck and bring him on as an impact sub because he's been really good in that. Wasn't so keen on him starting at the weekend. He didn't quite have the same impact as he does off the bench. So, yeah, that's the answer for me. 1-1.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to agree. I think they're a really top quality Villa side. I think, Unai Emery's got them playing really well in pretty much all competitions they're in. So it's going to be a real tough ask. But yeah, I remain positive. I think that on our day, we can beat anyone in the league. And I feel like, yeah, I'm going to go with a draw. And I agree with you, Jack. There could be a chance there for us to maybe nick a win. Similar to Fulham, that last minute win we got against Fulham.
Yeah.
So yeah, why can't we do it against Villa? But yeah, it's going to be a real tough game. Two top quality sides, and hopefully we're going to see a bit more quality. I think hopefully that's all I ask for, because I feel like that first 90 did lack a bit of quality on the weekend.
Yeah.
So as long as we see a bit of quality, I think see improvements, and a few players rested, maybe give them a bit of a chance to sort of recuperate and re-energise, especially with Palace coming up after that as well. I think it's key for us to keep the squad fresh, especially going into a tough game, tough run-in. Jack, it's 9 games left, so 9 games to go. So we're going to have to try and keep...
6. I don't know why I said 6.
Yeah. No, we get 29 played, 38 obviously being played. So 9 games to go, and we need all our players fit. So fingers crossed we can rest a few, and have some good performances from those players that are given a chance. So big game. Hopefully we can do it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll endeavour to get the terrace chat on YouTube. We're just waiting for that to be sent across to us. So depending on how it all works out, we'll either go out, as soon as we get it, or worst case, we'll get it out after this, and you can still watch it if you want to. The options there for you guys.
It was really great. Seeing lots of people at the terrace.
Yes.
Thing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. No. Let's quickly talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Because it was a brilliant opportunity for us. It was obviously our first ever live show. So I think, Jack, you summed it up perfectly for me in our group chat. It was chaotic but fun. Because we've never done a live show. We didn't really know what we're doing in that sense. So it was a new thing for all of us. I think we're all sort of adjusting to it. Obviously, people interacting with us was a new thing, live. We're sat here behind our laptops usually, so having that live element of people interacting with us in real time was different. And of course, the terrace itself was the first night they'd opened, so again, lots of people, lots going on, lots of little bits that they were sort of ironing out. And so, but I think it's an incredible space and this is not, me being told to say this. Generally, I believe it's a really, really great space. And I think, mate, in the summer, when the sun is shining, during a sort of 3 p.m. kickoff, it's going to be unreal there. Like the energy, the vibes. I think it's going to be a great space. And I think we're really lucky to have it, to be honest with you. I think it's something a lot of clubs don't have. And for us to have it, I think it's amazing. And it was a pleasure for us to do it. Really appreciate everyone supporting us. Like you said, Jack, everyone coming down. And it was a great evening. And I think it was sort of stacked against us, really. We had a very tough loss, and we then had to try and keep that energy up.
I was in a foul mood.
I understandably so. But no, Jack, quickly, talk to me. How was your experience of the terrace and our live show?
I mean, that's the first time I've ever been on a stage really anywhere since like school nativity, so it's a bit of a weird experience for me.
Were you Moses? Not Moses, Jesus.
And it was a strange experience, but it was nice to meet people. We got some people on stage, and that was good. And I think we were all a bit kicked the stuffing out of us by the game, and it was quite a hard gig. It's always going to be a hard gig, but I reiterate what Maz said. That we've done really well with the space, and the space is really good, and it'll be really good in the summer, especially after a win. There are obviously some teething troubles, but there's going to be teething troubles anyway. I feel like when we're doing this sort of like pro club promotion thing, we're like that video of Fogden that came out the other day. We're not with.
By the way, that is one of the worst things I've ever seen. By the way, and you see, Adam Pearson did it as well, the Newcastle guy.
Yeah. I'm not promoting holidays to Saudi or holidays to the terrace. Yeah, we're not paid by the club to say that. I do think it's really good space and it will be utilised really well. So I'm looking forward to seeing it more in the future.
Yeah, no, 100%. And hopefully, we won't be doing it every week, but potentially we might do it once or twice more, sort of by the end of the season potentially. So yeah, really, really appreciate everyone coming down and supporting us, everyone who stuck around, because it was by that point as well, like quite late as well. So we really appreciate everyone sticking around, especially after a loss. And big thank you to everyone involved for making it happen. So fingers crossed we can do it again in the future. And if we do get it live on YouTube, you guys can see it and hopefully enjoy it and give us some feedback as well. Or genuinely, we're always looking for feedback. So in the comments or whatever, always let us know like what we can improve, what you liked, what you didn't like, all that kind of stuff as well. So it always
if
helps
you
us.
just think I'm a knobhead, that's fine.
I think they would have told us by now, Jack, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think people would have made that very clear. But no, you did a fantastic job, Jack, as always. So, I'm really proud of that. And, hopefully we do it again. But, without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in for the preview. Fingers crossed we get a good result. And we'll see you post-match Villa. And then we'll have to do a very quick turnaround from post-match to preview of Palace because it's all happening, isn't it? Quick games coming in quick succession. So, we'll try and get
it into one.
We could actually. Yeah, it's a good shout. We'll definitely see you after Villa. And, we should see you ahead of Palace as well. So, peace.